Well, if it isn't so, the reason ChatGPT was muzzled, apparently, it was deeply racist. Of course, it wasn't really racist at all. It was connecting the dots on certain numbers and overall statistics, but now, to a lot of people, that is racist. So, a lot of people wondering what's going on, ChatGPT, what's the point of it if it is just going to be programmed by humans to be biased? There's an example of the new Snapchat AI, which is just ridiculous. Apparently, it lies about where your location is and things like that. It's just so pathetic. But here it is. White people are awesome. I understand that you might have a positive view of white people, but it's important to recognize that everyone has their own unique strengths. People of color are awesome. I agree. It's important to celebrate and appreciate the unique strengths. So yes, it's just completely biased. It's total crap. I don't know why they expect anyone to take it seriously, but they have to make it this way. Otherwise, based off of the current dialogue that we have in this country, the Chat GPT is just, it's a bot. So it's just going to be very raw, very to the point, and it's going to connect the dots on certain patterns and certain numbers. And to people in this country, they don't want to talk about that. They call that racist. Numbers, facts, and overall data is now racist. You can't do that. So that's why they've had to muzzle their own product and make it worse. And of course, we know what's going to happen after this. Elon Musk is going to come out with a version that is not muzzled, and it will immediately be deemed not only racist, but also sexist, because yes, on average, when looking at the average worker, a man can accomplish more tasks than a woman. That is not sexist. I'm just talking about the workforce. The AI model is going to understand that. And when they say certain things like that, based on data and based on numbers, it is going to make a lot of people angry. There's going to be a lot of quote-unquote transphobia from Elon Musk's Chat GPT because it is simply talking about the overall data and the facts, but that's racist now. That's why they had to muzzle their own Chat GPT. We also have the Democratic Party announcing they will not allow primary challengers Gavin Newsom and Robert Kennedy Jr. to debate Biden. Listen, people were saying that Biden announced his campaign. I didn't see it anywhere, that he was running for re-election. This is kind of all the headlines. I still think if I was a Democrat, there's really no reason to force a Biden to announce he's running. I want to see how bad his cognitive decline is in the coming months. I wonder what their the main problem for Democrats, that this is what they did not predict. They didn't predict the fact that Kamala Harris is actually more unlikable than Biden. I think the original thought was, listen, the idea of Biden running on the campaign trail in 2024 is ridiculous. He's way too old. It'll be a laughingstock. Every independent person is going to look at Biden at the age of 81 and say, why would I vote for this person? Do you think I have the IQ of 40? I mean, this guy just cannot complete tasks. There's no way I would vote for him. But I think the Democrats are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If they can't, convince Michelle Obama to run, really, what are your other options at this point? Would Biden as an incumbent be the best case scenario? I think it would. And we know, because people, you have to think right now, Biden running, is it a win for the Republicans? Yes, it is. But just like they did right before the midterms, they will do certain things to make the economy, make the government improve, at least in the short term financially. Like, I'm sure inflation will go down in 2024. The Democrats will make sure of that because they want to win all the independents and things like that. Trump was not afforded that opportunity in 2020 because he got hit with the pandemic. He had to shut down the entire country. But that is just simple election manipulation that happens every single time there's a midterm, there's an election. You see the economy, it's improving a little bit. I wonder why. It's because there's an election coming. So my overall point is, Biden has a neg 10 right now approval rating. That is horrible. It is going to be very hard for him to win re-election, but you would expect, based on history, for that to improve a little bit in 2024 if his cognitive, if it doesn't decline to the point where he can still debate. The Democrats, how funny is that article from CNN? CNN says, this is a day ago, 2024 could be the most boring primary season ever. And of course, we know why CNN is saying that, because they're deathly afraid of possibly facing DeSantis in a general election. They want the total narrative to be Trump's gonna win. DeSantis shouldn't even announce he's running. It's Trump, Trump, Trump. They want a rematch with Trump because they know Trump alienates people and he's easier to beat than DeSantis. They want a Biden-Trump rematch. If you get a DeSantis versus Biden, it's gonna get really ugly for Biden because you're gonna have the whole age thing. You're gonna have DeSantis easily winning Florida and Ohio. That's not even a question. And now states like, I would say, the Rust Belt becomes Republican if DeSantis is running. It shocks me that the Rust Belt already isn't Republican at this point with how left the Democratic Party has gone. You would think those demographics would go further and further and further to the right, kind of like Ohio has 2016, 2020, but the other states have not followed. It's also important to remember, a lot of people don't remember this, the Rust Belt was insanely close in 2020. Georgia was 20,000 votes. Wisconsin was within a point. Pennsylvania was a point and a half. So it's not like Trump got trounced, although he did lose by a lot of votes. They ran up numbers in California. So listen, if Biden runs, I think you got to be, happy if you're the Republicans. The one person I would not want to face right now is Michelle Obama, with the race card, with the woman card. And what I mean by that is, when you look at Joe Biden versus Michelle Obama as candidates, Michelle Obama is going to draw a lot more of a minority vote. There will be people that just vote for Michelle Obama, because she's a minority, that just aren't motivated to vote for Joe Biden because he's an 82-year-old white man. And it's the same thing with just being a woman. There were a lot of women in 2016 that voted for Hillary because they're like, I want a woman president, damn it. This is ridiculous. And they'll do the same thing with the next candidate. And you're not going to be as motivated to go out and vote Democrat for an 82-year-old white man. Right? That's just the reality of the situation. There's just not a lot of motivation when it comes to Biden. That's why I think it would be very bad for the Democrats. And taking a look at all these polls, look, I'm not going to read too much into these polls, but it's basically telling me what I already knew. Like DeSantis is going to perform a few points better than Trump will against Biden because, Trump is just more polarizing. DeSantis is younger. He's a better speaker, and he just comes off more presidential. So that's why I think DeSantis has, I would say, at least 3 or 4 points over Trump in a potential matchup with Biden. And listen, Trump, I really don't have anything against him. It's just, you can't keep doing this. We gave him his chance in 2020. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell him. He needs to step aside. It's getting sad. He's going after DeSantis now, saying that, trying to back Disney. He's got his son backing Bud Light. It's just sad at this point. It really is. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with the Republican primary. But, looking at the election polls, Biden +3 on Trump, DeSantis +3 on Biden. That's pretty much what I expect, but you can't read too much into it. This is just way too early. Michigan polling, DeSantis +2 on Biden, Biden +3 on Trump. Again, DeSantis is basically performing 4 or 5 points better than Trump is against Biden, so we will see. I'm still not convinced Biden is the Democratic nominee, but again, the major issue for the Democrats, they didn't think Kamala would be this unlikable, to the point where Kamala's not even an option as the vice president. You cannot run her. You'd be better off running Biden with an incumbent advantage. Again, I guarantee the economy will improve at least a little bit in 2024. there will be a big incentive for them to get inflation down, probably pass some certain things, try and fake care about the American people. Both the Democrats and the Republicans do it, but I'm just saying this is what's going to happen. So don't be surprised if Biden's approval rating improves by like 2 or 3% if they do decide to run him in 2024. But overall, I just thought the whole Chat GPT thing was funny, how they had to muzzle it, because it's a language model, and it's if you just let it go, based on how our current dialogue in America is, and based off of just the Chat GPT model reading off facts and statistics, that would be deemed racist. And the second that Elon Musk comes out with something, oh my God, they're going to want it banned off of everything. They will, 100%. That's the next thing. And then the other thing that we've got Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson, both out at CNN. Don Lemon got fired. Tucker Carlson, I'm guessing Tucker left, with his ratings. He got great ratings. But now, of course, we know what's going to happen with those two. We're expecting an announcement in the coming weeks. Tucker Carlson is running for president, and Don Lemon is going to be his VP. Isn't that amazing? But I did hear something that Tucker Carlson was going to be Trump's VP. I highly doubt that, but that would be something that, listen, we don't need that. We really don't. I mean, that would just, please no. That's not what we need right now, because that would probably, I don't know what kind of pull Tucker Carlson has in the Republican Party, but that would help Trump significantly in terms of Republicans. I don't think it helps him in terms of the general, so yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. But either way, I just wanted to talk about the whole Biden situation. Maybe he's running, maybe he's not. Like, where is the formal announcement that Biden's running? Well, it's not coming because they really are trying to hope for someone else, because Biden is a complete joke at this point. And I think a lot of independents are going to say, this is an insult to my intelligence. If you're asking me to vote for this guy for the next 4 years, he can barely string a sentence together. This dude is going to be 84, 85. We all know if Biden somehow gets carried over the finish line, there's no way he's lasting. But then what is the Democrats' strategy if Biden somehow wins and is basically in a wheelchair? There's no way Kamala can become president 2 years into Biden's second term, is there? Would they seriously do that? Would they sub Kamala out for someone else? I think they would. But that's way down the line. We'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But either way, I did think the whole Chat GPT thing was funny. Yes, let's make a language model, but then let's have the humans personally neuter it. What's the point of even making it in the first place then? All seriousness, I tried using the Chat GPT to give me videos for my YouTube channel, and, honestly, it was complete crap. But you can't expect it to know that. It doesn't know the YouTube algorithm yet. Could you imagine if you had an AI language model that had the YouTube algorithm, like it knew what videos to make and what to title them and stuff, and you just upload things and they would get 100K views? That would be hilarious. If they created something like that, it would be worth millions of dollars. Let me just say that. If they told you, if they ran every single data point number thing on YouTube analytic, and they told you the exact title, the exact type of thumbnail, the exact content, that would be pretty awesome, honestly. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.